What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. Hopsin done released a new track. This time he got a song called Your House. I'm glad to be in front of this finally. I did see his video where he said, you know, when he made this, he was in a dark place and everything, but he's no longer out of that place, but he was still going to release these videos and you know, in an attempt to help those who are in those type of places. But I've been listening to Hopsin for a very, very long time. And I really, really like his style. He definitely has a unique approach to hip hop. But we're going to go ahead and see what this is about. Hopsin does strike me as a conscious rapper. And I absolutely love those type of rappers because they're actually saying stuff with method, with a method and with some type of structure and theme to their stuff instead of just talking about, you know, drugs and cars and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong. I know he makes raps. Actually, I don't even know. I can't even think of one right now. But either way, I'm rambling on too much. Let's go ahead, shut up and turn it up. All right, so what's cool about this cinematography is that it already kind of sets the mood as to what kind of song we think this is going to be about, right? We're not too sure, but obviously we got some stuff that's going on. We don't know what's going on with the police, but everything that an artist does, puts in their video, they all have some type of meaning, right? It isn't just for viewing pleasure. It's something that can be dissected as well. And I think some people overlook the cinematography of videos and just kind of focus on the bars, but we here for everything. So I'm going to try to catch as much as I can during the first listen here. That guitar.
Man, I don't even know what happened. I was born inside of this shit, my fucking parents scrapping. I was mortified as a kid. Police always at my house, all because of my daddy's temper. Man, this shit been going on about as long as I can remember. He'd always blame my mom for the shit he didn't accomplish. I'd hide in the corner like a guinea pig in the process, just knowing he about to smack the fucking teeth out of mouth. It's like when it came to some type of drama, he got aroused. No joke. There was the moments where dad would slowly be creeping up. I would jump in front of my mama. Please don't beat her up. I ain't never spoke on this shit. The memories are up. Smiles and hugs, that's just something you'll never see in us. You know the pain when your parents tell you to go and play, then hours later you see your mom and she got a swollen face. I hope you don't relate. I just learned how to cope today from the days when I would pick up the phone and say, I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fight mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight. Your house tonight. I would go to...
Yeah, man, see, you know, the type of stories right here is like, they kind of suck, you know what I mean? Cause, you know, I definitely know of some people, you know, who have like the same kind of issues and stories, you know, maybe not so severe as, you know, domestic abuse, but like almost there, you know what I mean? And what sucks is that, I always thought that between the ages of 0 and 7 is when you're the most impressionable, right? And seeing that type of stuff, you know, go on in the house, you know, that's detrimental to your mental, you know, you grow up with those demons in your past, you know, and as you get older and you start learning how to choose between right and wrong, you know, when you get older, it does get to the point to where it is now your choice to decide how you want the past to affect your life moving forward. You know, I always had the idea that no matter what goes on in the house, right, when you growing up and everything, right, when you get older, right, it is now your responsibility to decide if you want it to affect your life, you know. And I do understand that some of that stuff causes trauma, right, very, very deep trauma. And if some people, it takes years to get out of it, if they ever do. But one thing that I've seen a whole lot happen is artists like Hopsin who find a way to kind of convert those type of drama and those issues that he had growing up and put it into music. This is the beauty of music, man. It allows you to put down. It's a form of healing almost, right? And although I know he said he made this in a dark place, it's almost like you're going to therapy. You know, you've written down everything, because it takes a lot of work to write these lyrics and make them coherent and make it into a story. You know what I mean? So you're thinking through this process, every single amount of detail, and you've written it out. So you've thought about your issue fully. And if I always thought that if you can explain your issue, that means you understand it, right? It's like when somebody teaches you something, you can't fully understand it unless you can successfully teach it to somebody else, right? So it's kind of getting to me, right? Because, you know, this stuff is like very, very relatable, and that's some sad stuff, right? To imagine you being a neighbor and a little kid getting on the phone calling you, can I come stay at your house? Like, it's gonna break your heart, you know? So, okay.
I wanna stay at your house tonight, your house tonight. I would go to school feeling so frightened, yeah, I was scared. Not knowing if I'ma go home, finding my mama dead. Every other fucking day, Dad was always losing control. He was acting like a fucking ape running loose in our home. Man, ever since I was born, they was pessimistic and torn. It's evident, but regardless, they never get a divorce. God, I wish they got around it, just checking into some counseling. We could have been a happy family inside our house again. I said again as if we ever were. That's false. Shit I dealt with growing up will forever hurt. I'm lost. We were nothing like the families I used to see on the sitcoms. We were horrible with bonds. I can no longer sitcom. I would see that my friends had a life at home that was peaceful. They were lovable people who didn't function like we do. Or how I wish I could redo the pain of the wicked days when I'd pick up the telephone, call a friend and say, I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth for all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fight mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight, your house tonight.
All right, so you know, one kind of thing that he's touching on, you know, he had his parents, you know, growing up, they were living together, but they were fighting so much. He obviously was wanting a divorce, but they never would get it. So he had to sit there through that trauma and everything. So I didn't come from a married couple, as my parents were never married, never did get married. They had me and then they went their separate ways. And then both of them are still in my lives. My dad and my father are great parents. But my mother, you know, got married and my dad got married and everything. And one thing that kind of tore me down was the fact that I had to split my time, right? And I didn't realize how much this affected me until you know, I met my wife. This was about 12 years ago. And then I kind of understood the value of having both of your parents in the same house. Like, it's an immense value of that, right? But only when things are going good. So you got that type of situation like I had, where you have split parents, and as a child you having to spend both of your time, that kind of suck. And then you have this where your parents are together, but there's domestic abuse. You know, both issues suck. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think people don't understand just that overwhelming value of having both of your parents inside the house loving each other. Like, it's so important, you know what I mean, as a child growing up, right? These are the bases, these are the fundamental blocks that's going to build you, that's going to build in your mind when you grow up, and stuff that you're going to have to reference to. So since my parents were divorced, not divorced, because they were never married, since my parents were separate, I have a son, right? And I use my past, right, to improve my future, you know? So I'm never going to divorce my wife, you know, and it'll be very, very hard for me, because I want my son to be able to grow up and have a loving family in the house, like it should be, you know? But I do want to applaud Hopsin for being able to make it through this, you know, and given his recent video, he was able to overcome some of his demons using hydrotherapy and everything. I'm glad that he was able to do that, because that requires extreme amount of self-awareness. So this is good stuff, man. It's very emotional, very relatable to me as well.
I wanna stay at your house tonight, your house house tonight. I ain't placing the blame, saying it's mom or dad's fault, but all those traumas I had stuck with me as an adult, and it ignited these mad thoughts that I seem to have often. Yeah, that's Hopsin. Music is where my last straw went. Now I'm devoted to always give you my true life. The love I never felt growing up, I get it from you guys. Please don't get it twisted, I love both my parents to death. I just think there's issues a lot of fucking parents neglect. We all got these traumas we carry, and sometimes it's scary cause we bury the nest right there in our chest, and we subconsciously air and project the nightmares and the stress that we dealt with when we were younger. And that's why therapy's best. Listen, if you got kids of your own and you throwing tantrums, don't be oblivious and assume that it won't impact them. Children follow the protocol of the parents' blueprint, so when there's an issue, they might handle it just how you did.
What did I just say, bro? Yo. You know what? I think one of the things that people don't take too seriously is that you have to understand that when you have a kid, that's your life right there, man. That's your life. Drop everything. Be careful what you're doing in front of them. Should I say, my son is only a year and some old. Bro, if he didn't just spit some of the most wise things that most of these parents need to take hold. Bro, whew. Thank you for this, Hopsin. You done said a whole lot of things. This is the type of stuff that people need to hear. This is the type of stuff where people should listen and take heed to the words that you just said and reflect upon themselves about how their actions are affecting them. Oh my goodness, bro. Okay, let's get through this song. Oh my goodness.
I gotta leave here now. My mom and dad acting crazy and this ain't right. And they've been going back and forth all night. I wanna stay at your house tonight, cause I don't wanna hear my dad fight mama no more. I don't wanna hear the police at the front door. Can I stay at your house? I wanna stay at your house tonight. Your house tonight.
And you see, there was that last part of the cinematography kind of spoke some volumes right there. You know, he was sitting there, you know, picturing, you know, his dad getting arrested by the cops. But then they show him looking at himself because it was based off what Hopsin just said, right? He said, the life that you gonna live, right? Like I said, kids are really influential at that age, you know, so if they see this, they're going to grow up and believe, all right, this is what needs to happen because this is all I saw. This is all I saw when I was growing up, you know? So you are literally looking at this is why I said when you get older, right, it's your responsibility to determine how you want the past to affect your future, you know? I mean, it sucks that people, you know, that you have to go through these traumas and everything, right? But it's the hard truth. The hard truth is that if you continue to go through your life doing all these things just as you learn, then there's nobody else but to blame for yourself, but yourself, right? Because two things in life, right? Choices and consequences. You make the choice, you suffer the consequence. You know what I mean? So he sees himself in the future. He's like, all right, I'm going to grow up just like that. That's what's going to happen if I don't change my life. You know what I mean? So very, very relatable stuff, man. It's super relatable because my father used to run with gangs and do all that type of stuff and everything. And once he had me, he literally changed his life around for the good. And he became a man of faith. You know what I mean? He got all these pictures and stuff, all these gangs and stuff he used to roll with. And then I often question myself, you know, if he stayed in that type of life, what kind of life would I have right now? You know what I mean? So I think about these things all the time. And just like Hopsin, I'm pretty sure he thinks about it all the time. I'm just like he said in his music video, you know, music was his last straw. Music is great therapy. You get to put your stuff in there, you get to tell your story out, and you get to reach across millions of other type of viewers who may have had similar or the same circumstance you are. And then when people look at you and they see these videos like the one you released where you say you overcame your demons, that's hope right there. And that's what I want artists to use their platform for, right? This is why I like conscious rappers, because they talking about stuff that can provoke a change, you know what I mean, in your whole entire thought. Sometimes all it takes is 3 words, right? That's crazy. Sometimes you can hear 3 words from like a wise man that changes your whole entire perception of thinking, right? So all right, this video is long enough. You guys let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments. And that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.